Here we are again. 2 more home games. Two more home games. I don't look forward. I don't look forward to home games anymore. Craig, good evening. We'll talk about the Premier League, Premier League deal. We'll talk about the EFL Sky deal. Theo, how you doing? Ollie, how you doing? AGU, who's FC, and why'd you bring up the geography work? Am I just missing something? We'll struggle to sell tickets to the next 2 home games. Yeah, sounds about right. Greaves sold. Greaves or Philogene. One of the 2 or both, sadly. Greaves owes me a shirt though. And if I don't get that, well, I shall be extremely disappointed because he's promised me one for the last 2 years, which is unfortunate, but is the way it is. Give me a second. Shall I ring her? Nah. Just commented. Quote. Evening, Joe. You going with the time? Okay. Jeff might be going to Ferriby away because his lads had enough of City home games. Fairs. Why so depressing straight away? Long day. One of these down. As soon as this stream finishes, I shall be going down and getting another one. No. Sargent is injured, by the way. Last time he got injured, Norwich were horrendous. Oh, we could only hope. Louis Coyle, Ryan Giles, Matty Jacob, plus a number of unnamed players are doubts Liam Delap is fit to return. That last sentence. Oh. So good. So good. No. Let it go. It is so over. And I will tell you why. Home form. We have got 28 points out of a possible 63 at the MKM Stadium this season. That is not promotion winning form. You can't win 7 games at home all season and expect to be promoted. Why at home, when we go 1-0 up, do we just put bodies behind the ball and give up, right? When we needed to against Middlesbrough, we moved the ball quickly. And lo and behold, we were unplayable. It's almost as if we've got the players to play that way. When we move the ball quickly, we are unplayable. Why don't we do it more often? Why in the second half did we lose all the intensity with which we finished the first half with? Why? Why? That's not how you kill a game. That's just simply not how you kill a game at all. It doesn't work like that. To kill a game, you need to outscore them. Simple, really. Racine, playing another goalkeeper, you fool. Panda to start tomorrow. Now, let's have a discussion about Ryan Alsop, shall we? He's shit. Conversation done. Move on. No. Now, he's a nice bloke, and I will preface all of this that I say about any player that ultimately I understand these footballers are human beings, and I interact with them all quite a lot, and nothing about it is personal at all. But what I will say is that when a player deserves criticism, I will criticise them. And when a player deserves praise, I will praise them. I praised Ryan Alsop earlier in the season when he made his debut against Leeds and was brilliant, when he got man of the match at Stoke, when he's made big saves for us, fine. But recent weeks, his confidence seems to be... I've put card... Ollie, thank you. There we go. Anyway, as we were saying, right. His confidence seems to be at rock bottom. And as a result, it's having such a massive impact on his performances. I have never seen a goalkeeper so consistently, who's paid professionally to play football, be so bad at the near post as Ryan Alsop has been in recent weeks. There, I've said it. Now, Jeff, I dispute what you said. Alsop better than Ingram with feet, Ingram better shot stopper. Can't comment on Panda as he's an unknown entity. I don't necessarily think Alsop is better than Ingram with his feet. I don't. He's not as confident, but that doesn't necessarily make him worse. In terms of passing the ball to the centre-backs or Seri, they do exactly the same thing. Alsop just seems to exude a bit more self-assurance in how he does it. He seems a bit more confident in how he does it. Long balls is where Liam Racine says Ryan Alsop, earns his swiller, right? The only decent long ball I can remember Ryan Alsop doing this season is Stoke, long ball to Aaron Connolly, and we went and scored from it. I can't remember whether it was Connolly's goal, whether it was Traore's goal, whatever. It was a long ball, and we went and scored from it. The way Matt Ingram has been treated this season has been appalling. There is no other club in the league that Matt Ingram, and that includes Leicester, Southampton. There is no other club in the league bar Leeds for whom Matt Ingram is not second choice goalkeeper. At least. For most, he's number one. But he started this season as our first choice goalkeeper. And now he's third choice. What? And we've paid £1.5 million for a goalkeeper who dislodged Ingram as our substitute goalkeeper. £1.5 million, and Ryan Alsop is putting in performances like that, and a goalkeeper who was statistically one of the best in the Eredivisie over the last 1.5 seasons is sat on the bench doing nothing. Would Ryan Alsop be statistically one of the best goalkeepers in more or less every metric in the Dutch top flight? No, I don't think he would. Not unless he played for a team like PSV or Feyenoord or every season bar this season, Ajax. Unless he played for one of the top clubs in that league, which Ivo Panda didn't, Ryan Alsop would not be statistically one of the best goalkeepers in the league. And a lot of that would be clean sheets because he wouldn't have a lot to do in games. For me, Ivo Panda should be starting games for us. And there will come a time when he does start games, and he will be number one goalkeeper here for a very long time. But it's the fact that Alsop consistently makes these mistakes and seems so untouchable. All the while, Matt Ingram sat behind the dugout, scratching his backside and sniffing his fingers because he's got now better to do. I'm not saying he actually does that, by the way. It's just an example of what some people might do to kill time. I disagree because it's still at the top end that we've had issues as well, especially at home. What racist words were said about Rafinha? It covers for a season of failure. I don't get what point you're making there, Des. I simply don't get it at all. The issue with football is the players can never get sacked, but the manager can. If it's not exactly their fault, they've done the most they can. They can't go on and play. And this, I think a lot of this is individual mistakes by Ryan Alsop. Genuinely, at his near post, there are kids we coach at work in primary school who are better at their near post at shot stopping than Ryan Alsop is. And that's not me taking the mick or making a joke based on the last few games anyway. It's very strange because I think Ryan Alsop will still play tomorrow. And it blows my mind how he can make mistake after mistake after mistake, week after week after week. And it not have a bearing on him. So a stat that said Alsop conceded 9 goals more than his XG, which is the second worst in the league. Takes the piss how many times been beat as near post. Why the hell won't Panda start for us? I don't know. Give him the chance. I understand initially, right, in terms of getting embedded into the squad and adapting a little bit to the way Rafinha wants to play. But come on, man. Come on, man. Now, he's been here since early January. Come on. Let's do what AGU says and look through the games Ryan Allsop's played in. So, Ryan Allsop made his debut against Leeds at home and was brilliant. Kept a clean sheet. Our second one of the season. He was then man of the match the next game against Stoke, and we were all saying, I don't know what these Cardiff fans are on about, saying he can't do anything. He's been all right with his feet, and he's made some brilliant saves as well. And you can't really pick a fault in it until we reach West Brom, where he plays the ball to Seri in an awkward spot, and Seri then has to make a suicidal pass to Alfie Jones because he's got nothing else to do, and we go 1-0 behind. Jed Wallace, the goal scorer for that one. Then skip a game to Swansea. One of those goals is near post, I think. The other, he's got to do better with anyway. Rotherham, it was poor marking from a set piece. Watford, I can't remember what their goal was. QPR, one was a poor pass by him. The other, he dived for Chris Willock's shot without putting an arm out. Are you mental? Bristol City 3-2. One he should have done better with. The other one was when he was brought off through injury, and Ingram should have done better with that one. And then it gets to more recently. Where we get to Birmingham at home, which arguably could do better with. The Leicester one, 2 Jamie Vardy ones, I don't think you can really do out about that. One was a penalty. Stoke. That second one is appalling. Rosinier said it hits a divot. I don't see anything on that replay. It goes through his hands. Leeds, you can't really blame him. Cardiff, it's awkward because he's probably going to be a bit unsighted, but even then, it's near post and he's stood right on it. And then Middlesbrough, Latte Lath's goal. The rest, as they say, is history. Watford was the halfway line one, yeah. No, you can blame him for that actually, because he just let it go in. Duncan Watmore at Millwall. Both goals at Swansea. Watford, Wesley Hoot at halfway. Some in the press room were saying that Alfie Jones shouted of him to leave it. But even then, as the goalkeeper, you've got the best view of it. You can see it until it drops behind that line. If you see it dipping, intervene. He didn't intervene. Longman's goal was ace. 2 games in a row, he got beat his near post. It's shocking. I don't want to say a player should be dropped, but now it's time for him to get benched. Agreed. I can't remember what Watford's first one was like, AGU, but I can remember that second one. Hoover's was awful. Right. We've had 20 minutes slating Ryan Allsop there, and we'll leave it. We'll leave it there, shall we? We'll leave it there. Right. Ref watch. The referee is Tom Neild, who I've never heard of. George Byrne and Hristo Karavanov are the 2 linos. The 4th official is Thomas Parsons. Gavin Ward was predictably, demonstrably terrible. Kayembe, middle of the goal. I'll watch it back. Another Joe rant. I wouldn't necessarily call that a rant, but here we are. Need another Seri goal. Mika's pressing was incredible. And that's what happens when you let Mika Seri shoot from inside the box only, because he still nearly skied it. If we start a striker and put ball in the box like against Borough and not long balls. Well, please not Billy Sharp. Please not Billy Sharp. He's shit. Again, not personal. Anyway, stats. Yeah, look, loads of possession. Rosenior says we controlled the game. Yeah, we did. But again, at home, we control the game. And guess what? We have absolutely sweet FA to show for it. Consider me shooketh. Giles ex-Oscar next season. Yeah, Oscar's not staying. Oscar will be moved on for £3 to £3.5 million to Bahia as FFP fodder. So we can actually try and sign Ryan Giles permanently, who, can I just say, has been good since we signed him. I don't get the hate he's been getting on Twitter. And can I just say, Rosenior, take the shackles off the man. He didn't go past the halfway line the other day. Like I say, take the shackles off the man. Anyway, moving on. He is carrying a knock, yeah, fair. Wonder if back too soon, fair enough. Someone said we shouldn't sign Giles. Giles does fit our system. He's an attacking fullback who, when he's allowed to do what Louis Coyle does routinely week after week, will be incredible. But he just hasn't done it. Take the shackles off him, like I say. We're a fantastic side until he gets to both penalty areas. If we sell Philogene in the summer, then we need to invest heavily in strikers, do a Coventry. I think a lot of it in the second half anyway, on Saturday was, or not on Saturday, on Wednesday, was Jadon trying to do too much with it himself. Because we were playing at such a pedestrian pace, when eventually we did pick the pace up a little bit, and the ball got to him. Because he stopped and tried to do a million step-overs, beat a man and got nowhere. Words. I don't know what I was going to say. Yeah, right. When he got the ball, because we picked the pace up for that little second, we thought, right, he's going to do something. And the pace of the game just immediately slowed. So we may have had a little opening where we picked the pace up and had a chance. When he got the ball, because he tried to be too fancy with it. It just fell apart. Jane loves fighting about when a pass would be better. That's just his footballing brain. I think his individual brilliance is exactly that. And no one should ever coach that out of him. But sometimes it's just his decision making about when to use it and when to consider the team a bit more. Should be better. Jordy, how you doing, mate? I saw a comment earlier. Now I've remembered it, but I was writing about Ryan Orsock. The 21s game. I'd love to go, but I'm in lesson all afternoon, so that's good. But if anyone can go, do go. And we'll talk about the 21s as well, actually. Bobby Moore. Bobby Moore. Under 15. This kid's in year 10. This kid is in year 10. I tweeted, we've got a lad called Bobby Moore in our under-15s. If he's not a centre-back, he needs a name change. Also, just a thought, he's in year 10 and on the bench for Hull City's under-21s. This lad is 14 or 15 years old. Mental. Next big breakthrough talent, ? As it transpired, Bobby Moore, like his namesake, is a centre-back. I've never seen a kid at 15 coming through Hull City's academy more destined for the Premier League on name alone. Bobby Moore. Come on. Bobby Moore. Anyway, right, head-to-head for QPR. No, I don't want to join you in W12. Team in their last game, which is a 1-1 draw to Plymouth, was Asmir Begovic in goal. Excuse me, my throat's feeling it now. Jimmy Dunn was at right back. Two centre halves were Steve Cook, Morgan Fox with Kenneth Powell at left back. Holding midfield two were Sam Field and former Tiger Isaac Hayden with Lucas Anderson as the 10, Paul Smith and the Belgian court merchant, allegedly, Ilias Chair were the wingers, with Lyndon Dykes, once nearly a Tiger, of course, up top. Also, love the fact he's called Paul Hall. I think that's it. Yeah. Isaac Hayden there's an interesting one. Our upcoming centre-backs are very good. Mills, Ashby, Moore. Who else? Alfie Taylor. Any more? Jack Leckie came back from injury today. Any other centre-backs? I think that's all of them. Andy Smith, of course, as well, already broken through a little bit into the first team. Connor, I said this a few minutes ago, you just missed it. Thomas, I've said that for the first 20 minutes of the stream. You just missed it. Connor, yes, he is 15. Yes, he is 15. Robert, don't be an idiot. We're still like 9th, 10th in the league. We're in no danger of going down. Right, moving on. Current form. My throat's struggling now. Guys, I've been like this for a week. What's happening to me? This is the best I've felt as well, and I still sound like an utter cretin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. QPR's last 5. 4 out of 5 unbeaten. Drew 0-0 with Sunderland, beat Birmingham 2-1, beat Swansea 1-0, lost 2-0 to Sheff Wednesday, then drew with Plymouth. So they're winless in their last 2, which bodes well. But again, we're at home. We've won once in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. Nice form, City. Nice form. Don't throw those accusations around, Connor. I wouldn't recommend it. Allsop and Delap have defined our seasons both in different ways. Interesting. Robert, hate to burst your bubble, but I'm mathematically safe, and we've only been in the bottom half of the league for 1 week of the season. Fair. Need to not wear the home shirt tomorrow. Dynamic will change. All right, Shotter, calm down. Almost as bad as last season. 3 wins, 10 draws, 3 losses, last 16. Yeah, not bad. Not well, no, very, very bad is my point. But I'm going to elaborate on what Connor said in terms. I've done this before, but I'm just going to show you because I have my spreadsheet of all knowledge. And look at this column I've highlighted here. League position. We've been in the bottom half of the table for 1 week. And that was the first game of the season. We have never been in... No, Robert, the point still doesn't stand. We've been in the bottom half of the table for no time at all because the first week of the season, the table doesn't even matter necessarily. We will not go down. No way in hell will we go down, be it this season, next season, whatever. I don't need to say any more. That league position column does all the talking. I'll put it back up. That does all the talking. And look for this long stretch of the season when we didn't drop lower than 8th. Look at this. I haven't filled Middlesbrough in yet. But it still stands where we haven't dropped out of the top 10. Only when we lost to Southampton did we drop as low as 12th. Once the season actually got going. And I'm going to have a look, actually, where after game week 1, we would have been in the table with that point to Norwich. I'm going to look for it and I'm going to find it. And you're going to watch me do this live. Did I at the league table in the Donny preview? Flicking. Form. Here we go. Okay. Right, alphabetically, that would have put us 13th. That would have put us 13th on alphabetical order. So it's still only what my point. I've said it without saying it. I'd much rather keep Greaves than Philogene. Yeah. I'd rather. You know how I feel about Jacob Greaves. You know how I felt for 6 years about Jacob Greaves. Reckon I could do out like that working for City, filling a spreadsheet in about who's played what, who's been booked, who's got assists, who went down for a penalty, who missed the penalty inevitably because Tufan would never be on the pitch to take it. Did Ingram also Panda, whoever? Well, obviously not Panda because he don't play. Save the penalty. People need to stop slandering Rosie. It's the best season we've had in probably close to a decade. Mood around the club the same too. Imagine the state if we still had Shotter. Oh my goodness. Could you imagine? Anyway, speaking of which, look, we're 10th. No need to panic. We will absolutely finish this season in the top half of the table. You asked me at the start of the season if I would have accepted a top half finish. Would I have said yes? Absolutely yes, I would. Is playoffs done? Yes. Yes, it is. It is incredibly unlikely we get in there. But 10th is where I predicted us to finish at the start of the season, and it is where we will finish at the start of the season. Aaron Cashin would be a good shout, but we'll see what happens with that. There'll be interest in him from Premier League clubs, but I know Brighton were interested, and Derby could well go up. Playoffs isn't done at all. I don't think it's mathematically still on, but we won't get in there. We will not get in there at all. Ronnie Edwards, another good shout. Need a lot of favours from those above us now. We'd have snapped someone's hand off 12 months ago if they offered us 10th place now, 6 points off the playoffs. Yes, we would have done. But I agree with the view that it's about perspective. The January we had, we should be beating every team in the league pretty much. But anyway, games kicking off in 7 minutes. Plymouth versus Leicester. Putting that on a Friday night is disgusting. Leeds Blackburn 12:30 tomorrow. 3 o'clock tomorrow are the rest of the games, and they are the following: Millwall versus Cardiff, West Brom versus Sunderland, Swansea versus Rotherham, Southampton versus Watford, Sheff Wednesday versus Stoke, Preston versus Norwich. We need a draw out of that game. We need a draw out of that game. Ipswich, please beat Middlesbrough. We need to do our job for once at home and win a game. Bristol City versus Huddersfield, and then Birmingham won't beat Coventry. There's no point in me even asking. Memorable match. 3-0 defeat to QPR. First home game back in the league after COVID. Don't care. Team was Ingram, Coyle, Jones, Greaves, Elder, Smallwood, Doherty, Monker, Longman, Lewis, Potter, McGuinness. Bench. Backs to the goalkeeper. Eves, Emmanuel, Cannon, Randall Williams, Matt Smith, and Deshaun Bernard with Grant McCann in charge. For QPR that day, Jordi and Mo Odebajo, 2 ex-Tigers in there. We had 1 ex-QPR player in our team that day. I'm not going to tell you who that is because it's my shared shirts. So you've got to guess who that is without Googling your cheats. Last time out, 2-0, don't care. Allsop didn't dive and then made a stupid pass. Chris Willock will be a Hull City player in the summer as well. I am 99.9% certain of it. He'll be on a free. He'll leave QPR. We wanted him in January. We will go out and get him. They beat us 2-0. Our team, Allsop in goal, back four, Christy McLaughlin, Greaves and Coyle. Midfield, Seri, Morton, and it'll have been Traore through the middle. Twine and Philogene wide with the lap up top. Bench, Ingram the goalkeeper. Tufan, Doherty, Vaughan, Smith, Slater, Jacobs, Sellers, Fleming, Connolly, Rossini the gaffer. And our record against QPR is, well, when my tab reloads and I can share it, it is wretched. Absolutely wretched. I'm waiting for Let me play these adverts. I don't want to play Tombola. Record. Lost 3 of our last 5 against them. The 3-0 we covered a bit ago. Drew 1-1 at their place. Marcus Force scored that day. Lost at their place under Shotter. Remember, we started Andy Cannon in that game. Andy Cannon, who then wouldn't be registered to play for us the following day. Which I think tells you all you need to know. Then we did beat them 3-0 under Liam Rossigna. Aaron Connolly scoring a couple that day. And then lost 2-0 at the start of this season. Right. Let's have a look at the comments. Matt Ingram is a shared shirt. You're right. I forgot about Ingram, but I've not picked him. It's not Jordi Device. If Bahia don't take up the buy option, do you think Oscar deserves a shout next season? Yes, but he won't get it. And while we can get a fee for him, he scored 5 goals in 7 games for Bahia. Please give us the 3 million because FFP will need it. Device, the badge kissing weasel, is not the right one. You haven't guessed the shared shirts. Remember this guy? Remember this guy? AJU, I said first home league game. Matt Smith. Yeah. AJU calls him the most forgotten Hull City player alongside Liam Walsh. I'm going to give you an exclusive here. I hope I'm not out of line by saying this. But I had a conversation with Marcus Hullboy the other day. And he bumped into Liam Walsh outside an Everton ladies game at Goodison Park. And he said that he spoke to Liam Walsh and said, "Oh, we're Hull City fans. What do you think of your time there?" He says everyone at the club was great and I loved it initially, but then I fell out with Shotter, so just went and watched Liverpool games instead. Like I say, not my exclusive, but I don't think anyone else has had that. So you 19 people watching this, you're lucky. Classic Shotter. Anyway, Matt Smith. He exists. He played for St Johnstone now. Was on loan for at QPR from Man City in the COVID season. 10 appearances for them, no goals. Was on loan for us the season after the full lockdown season, which was the one after he was at QPR. Was moved on in the January because he wasn't going to play, and Man City recalled him and sent him out to MK Dons instead. Has the exact same record for us as he does for QPR. 10 appearances, niche goals. I'll check company's house account to see how much debt we're in. Don't sell our best players. Football clubs always operate in debt. Most of them do, and it's fine. It's about financial fair play with the EFL and profit and sustainability rules and stuff like that. It's not about debt. It's about making sure that those rules say you effectively can't spend more than you make. Adjun can put in 15 million of his own money a year to help run the club and, that running costs and stuff like that. But everything else we spend, we have to make ourselves through sponsorship, through merchandise sales, through ticket sales. And like AJU says, most football clubs in this country operate in debt. So it's not really a problem. Anyway, let's move on. Predicted team, Allsop in goal, Slater at right back, 2 centre-backs, Greaves, Jones the skipper, Giles left back, midfield, Morton, Seri and Carvalho, Abdush right, Philogene left, Tufan up top. Bench, Panda, McLaughlin, Traore, Sharp, Delap, Jacob, Christie, Connolly, Zarori. No, Liam Delap is not getting thrown straight in. It will not happen. He'll get 20, 25 minutes off the bench, I think. But it's good to not throw him in straight away. We want to see him up to and including Plymouth away, because we might still have something to play for if we play our cards right and other results go our way. Unlikely though it is. Predicted scores. Tell me. I am not confident. These last 2 home games, I will not go into them confident. I simply cannot. If I could keep any of the loan players next season, who would you keep? So we've got the buy option on Giles. We'll say we sign him. Cool. Other than that, Ohio can go. Ohio can go. It's between Morton, Delap, Carvalho. Carvalho, although he doesn't do a lot in games, he has scored 7 goals since January. I don't know. I think it's got to be Delap. Anyway, score predictions: 3-0, 2-1, 2-0 QPR, 1-1, 2-0 QPR, 1-0. One draw. Boring game. Frustrating game. Sounds about right, doesn't it? See you tomorrow for the Matchday vlog, everyone. Hopefully I'll not be so just depressed coming out of that ground that I can't be asked to put any effort into editing the vlog at nearly midnight. So hence why you had no sub-graphics or yellow cards or out like that, because I just wanted to go to bed. So, sorry, not sorry. Yeah, see you later, everyone. Hope the Tigers, and I hope we have a home win. Please have a home win. Goodbye.